We live at different vibrations like throughout the entire day, right? Like all the time. We're up and down, the ebbs and flows, right? It's inevitable. It's life. It's humanity, it's consciousness, it's life. However, making a commitment to the expansive growth and expansion within who you are, the evolutional growth of you stepping into your power, into your energy of alignment, is how we are able to align back to our soul selves, aka transitioning from those lower energies to our natural, innate, higher energies faster and not living in those lower vibrational states longer than we need to, right? Again, emotions trying to tell us something. Hey mama, welcome to Naturally Empowered Living, your safe space to guiding you on your unapologetic self-awakening journey to learning your energy of alignment and feeling good again. This is your weekly sanctuary to wake up from autopilot and transform the way you approach motherhood and life through the power of meditation, energetics, and root cause therapy. It's my mission to help you embody the foundations of self-love, trust, and inner connection to be unapologetic in the evolution of who you are. Here, we honor all parts of ourselves, the messy and the magic, the shadows and the light. If you are ready to get to the roots of cultivating real change, warm up that cold coffee, pop in your earbuds, and tighten that top knot, mama. Let's discover our power within together. Hello, beautiful mamas. How are you? Welcome back to another episode of Naturally Empowered Living. This is your host, Jenna Smith, and I'm so excited for this episode because it's like a special excitement. We're airing on a full moon today, and if I ever mention that, like if we're ever airing on a full moon or new moon, I don't know if I just like notice it on the fact that it airs, because I always record my episodes like way in advance, so I'm not like that savvy to like be looking that far ahead. But if you if you follow the woo-woo or not, just know that my energy is infused, of course, in every single episode, but also in this episode because I do follow the woo-woo and it's embodying love and transformation and to benefit for your highest good. Okay, so know that there is no coincidence. No coincidence that this episode is airing today on a full moon. Because, okay, a little backstory. Like I have ideas written down like months and months and months in advance. I have like a Google spreadsheet. That's just my type A organization, I guess. I don't know. But I just have this Google spreadsheet and I just write down ideas if they come to me, if I have a conversation with someone. So I have all these ideas written out in advance. So when I come to sit down and write notes to record an outline or two or record an episode or two, I see, okay, this is the date for what's the suggested topic for this air date. And if it resonates with me in this time that I would be recording it, we roll with it. But if it doesn't resonate, I just kind of copy, that subject and move it later down the list because I'll record it eventually. And then I'll, just like channel through what's needed at this time. And I'm going to be fully transparent, like with this episode, still being like, I'm in summer mode with my kids. My kids are home with me. I don't have my business, my work time really priority with me during this season of the year. Like it's always, it's with my family, with my kids, you go through different flows, right? So I was like, whatever it says, we're just going to roll with it, because not that I don't have time, but it's like this, sometimes you're not in a good channeling creative space. Okay. So that's where I'm kind of at in the summers. I'm not in a business creative space. So then when I sat down to start writing this outline for this episode a couple weeks ago, I was like, let's see, how near this falls into the full moon because we're in the middle of a month and maybe it'll resonate and like whammy, we're airing on a full moon. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I had shivers, I got the chills. So then I go look at my full moon workbook that I get from Spirit Daughter. Incredible. She has full moon workbooks, new moon workbooks, and I've been going through them. This is my third month, I believe, since I got on like the subscription for it. I've loved following her on Instagram, Spirit Daughter. And I haven't read through the full moon workbook yet because I wait for a couple days prior to the full moon and like note, I'm sharing this story. We're still a couple weeks ago, like air quotes, right? As I'm sharing this little revelation. So I see that the full moon is in Aquarius and the sun is still in Leo. So when this episode is airing on August 19th, the full moon is in Aquarius, the sun will be in Leo, and both of these signs want us to understand our most authentic selves. These signs want us to accept ourselves and love ourselves unconditionally. And Aquarius, a little like added on truth here, is it evolves these concepts even further by helping us understand that when we stand in our authentic truth, our vibration becomes clearer and more effective. So we emit then a stronger vibration rooted within that truth, and then we raise the vibration of the collective human, consciousness all around us. Like, how beautiful is that? Like, you've probably heard, of karma, or like what you give off always comes back to you, or what you focus on expands, right? So when we are in our energy of alignment, in our authentic truth, our vibration is clearer, it's higher. We're emitting that strong vibration because we're rooted in our truth. So we're emitting the love, we're emitting the highest vibrations there are, the love, the joy, the peace, the bliss. And then it's radiating out of us and reaching people around us. Like those sayings, like spreading the light, or, sharing the love, or whatever that is. Like, there's truth behind that because our energy is emitting away from us and sharing outwardly into the collective around us. So, so beautiful. So the full moon in general is a reflective time. So if like you don't follow full moon practices or new moon practices, I'll just share a little tidbit of kind of what are you talking about? So full moon in general, it's a reflective time where we can nourish, the rituals that we created, the intentions that we set during the new moon. So the new moon, we're setting intentions. The full moon, we are nourishing those intentions, those creations, and breaking through anything that we need to let go of, breaking through limitations, illuminating the work that we've done since that new moon to help us embody it. Okay, so it's this beautiful cycle. The new moon, we're calling in, the full moon, we're releasing, or the rebirth. And I feel like the new moon and full moon are both rebirths in a sense. But anyways, okay, so it's time to step into that new self that we are becoming, again, focusing those rituals from the new moon, and recognizes the places that we still need to shift into or away from. So on the new moon, we set intentions, design pieces for our lives to step into our energy of alignment, our innate soul selves. On the full moon, we're manifesting those visions through embodiment, through the changes that we've already made. We're letting go. We're basking in the work that we've accomplished and look back on the journey, with just gratitude and love and all the things. So we can clearly see what we may need to release within our lives when we are intentional about it. Of course, awareness, intention. I feel like I've been saying that a lot in our episodes the past, however many weeks. And here we could see our blocks. We could be intentional in noticing those self-imposed limitations. We could notice our doubts, right? The full moon is a chance for us to pause, with our dreams, right? We could take a pause. We could take a moment, take a breath, and view that path behind us and ahead of us, by focusing on where we are in the present moment. So the first step of this full moon, and of course, like any full moon really, because of what I just shared, but if you want to take it a step further, each full moon, it has its own zodiac sign. There's a different sign to each full moon, pending where things are sitting within our, galaxy and universe and things. So within this full moon, we are to shed behaviors that block us from being ourselves and anything that lowers our vibration in any way, because these two often go in hand. When we're not living a life aligned with our soul, our vibration lowers. When we're not living in our energy of alignment, our vibration, we're not in alignment. Our vibration isn't as high as it can be. So we may enter states of fear, sadness, resentment, anger, among so many other lower vibrations. Not saying they're bad. Not saying any of this is bad, because it's inevitable. It's our flow of life. My son and I, we've had these conversations so much lately. Like, it's not a bad thing to have anger. We will have all of these. It's hard to I guess it's easy to put labels of like good emotions and bad emotions. And I'm still kind of toying with the verbiage here, because there's no good or bad. All emotions are here to communicate with us. They're here to teach us something, to bring wisdom, from our inner soul selves out into existence. So, okay, going back here, when we might enter a state of, fear, sadness, resentment, anger, any of those lower vibrations, it might be easier to complain or judge or criticize ourselves or other people around us. And these behaviors stem from not living our authentic truth in our soul's purpose and our energy of alignment, which in turn can lower our vibration, along with the frequency, that we're emitting, the vibration that we're emitting out. So the full moon, again, is an opportunity to shed these behaviors, these patterns, these things that are blocking us from being our true authentic selves, aligning in our energy of alignment, aligning in love, aligning to our innate energy, our energy of alignment. Like this is such a mouthful. I hope that you're following me here. It's just I've been so intrigued. I've been so fascinated. I know that, naturally empowered living, I don't really teach. I'm not an expert. I'm not certified. I don't teach on horoscopes. I don't teach on astrology. This is a personal passion of mine. And I just find so much that it is so intertwined with, the work that I do within energy healing, within instinctive meditation. And it's something that it's like a personal ritual, personal passion that I love. So I hope that you're enjoying this episode. But this energy that we are living in every day, that we are emitting, that, holds the visions of who we are within the collective, and what possibly needs to be changed or let go in order to bring everyone in the collective feeling that society is serving everyone, right? Like, wouldn't society, wouldn't the universe, like, it would be like this perfect utopia, like if we could always vibrate at the highest frequency, right? Like call it what you want, enlightenment, there's so many different words, right? Like that's, again, what I love about this show. You could put your own terminology, your own beliefs within, what I'm saying, because the parallels, the principles here, the cores are very, very similar, and it's the same, to me. So in Aquarius, as the Aquarius sign reminds us that we are all connected, right? We all breathe the same air. We are all, call it oneness, call it, we're all within the same energetic web, and we're influenced by the collective consciousness. So this is a full moon that we have a responsibility, if you will, in an intention to contribute to humanity and help evolve it moving forward. Finding out who we are, speaking our truth. How beautiful is that? So during this Aquarius full moon, we can make it an intention to become aware of how possibly we are influenced by society, by the collective. How have you been programmed by the world around you? Our societal programming, conditioning comes in so many forms, right? Like from our childhood, from our parents, from other mentors that we've had, our schools, our peers, our friends. Many of these lessons, of these, beliefs or programs or lessons are deliberate, from loved ones, from parents, having been taught from, people teaching you or you teaching others. And some are unconscious. And this is the other passion that I have. That's why I'm getting into the root cause therapy, because all the unconscious, the subconscious beliefs, I feel that there's so much power that's just stuck within our bodies and we have no idea. So that work to be able to release that, again, to step into your energy of alignment. So in our, early stages of development, a little bit about the subconscious here, we're sponges, right? Think of your kids, like you're absorbing everything around you. You're picking up habits, you're picking up behaviors. That, another cliche quote drop here, actions speak louder than words. We're just conditioned in how we're perceiving the reality around us. And if that's within our awareness or not within our awareness, right? We're absorbing these behaviors. Or think of your children. They're absorbing everything going on around us. So we're also, forming concepts and how things, quote unquote, should be, and the condition, like the societal conditioning, right? By simply living in a world filled with other humans with combined knowledge. And that's how it almost like that spider web of the collective consciousness. It's just so fascinating. Okay. So within this full moon, we can help find our individual freedom among that collective while also aiding to the collective. Does that make sense? Are we following here? So within this Aquarius full moon, it's an opportunity to observe our patterns, understand their origins, their roots, break from them if needed, and then we could form new responses based off of our authentic truth. This is also where, that second step of work comes in. And this is you. This is your authentic truth, not someone else's before you that you may have picked up on from that conditioning. So it's a time to step into your truth, feel your heart, connect to your heart, and act from that place. This process, it's lifelong, right? This is our life work. How many times do I say that too? This is our life work. And that's why I just feel so connected to the moon cycles, because we are ever evolving and ebbing and flowing, and then bringing the zodiac within that, like the astrology portion of it. It's just like, there's just so much depth. So within feeling our truth, our heart. This process, of course, takes the conscious, intentional effort and awareness. And it's not, a day's work. This is your life's work. And you could use resources, tools, this podcast, other things that resonate with you to bring in that awareness from these automatic responses, these automatic habits that are controlling you without you even knowing it. Okay? So what I'm getting to here within this episode is I'm going to be sharing with you prompts of a little ritual that you can do on this full moon specifically. So it will be time sensitive. So one more thing to note before we kind of jump into these prompts and journal prompts. Once you start acknowledging, getting to the root, breaking through these subconscious programmed patterns and reactions that might not really be like your authentic truth, and you may have, picked up from them from, earlier years or whatever that might be, you will begin to evolve into the person you are meant to be. Like, this is where that like constant evolution and growth comes into play. Like, this is our life's work to step into our higher self, our soul self. What, again, like, insert your terminology here. But the challenge also, it might bring up, you might be changing, right? And I feel like when I was younger, I felt like change was almost looked at as a bad thing. And it's like, oh, they changed. And it's like, I see it so much more beautifully now. And there's nothing wrong. I mean, as long as like we're coming from a good intention and good space, right? It's a beautiful evolution. However, the challenge here, by stepping into this new version of yourself, there may be people within our lives that might not accept our changes. Some will. You're going to, find people that are also like within your soul tribe, right? Once you step into your alignment, people will come into your life that are meant to be there. But ultimately, what I want to shine light on are the people that might not be accepting of those changes, because that's when we might revert, when we might feel guilty, when we might feel shame, resentment. Oh, I'm the one that changed. What am I doing wrong, right? So that's where that connection to yourself, that strength you have to hold on to, that connection to your heart. Because when a loved one or people close to you, when we change, even for the better, think of you in that position, like, oh, they're changing. Like, it might be kind of, I don't know, right? So it's very delicate. Maybe have conversations with loved ones, with close people, if you're going through this intentional work. But as you're aligning to your authentic self and shedding outdated behaviors, shedding pieces of you or letting go of pieces of you that no longer serve you, you may be confronted with confused expressions, with questioning, people questioning you. Or I just want to shed light on that, because like my love to you is to stay true in who you are, and to note the discernment of, is what I'm letting go of, really not meant for me? And is what I'm doing, what I'm evolving into, is this my truth? And be okay with it. You need to accept that other people might not be comfortable at first when you're speaking your truth. When I started stepping into this, I guess I could go back a few years ago. Like, I was always the people pleaser. I was always someone that would never share my opinion. So when I started realizing that and shedding that piece of me that wasn't really me, I had a lot of confrontational relationships, like wham, bam, 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 like within a few months. It was like, I remember talking to my husband, like, what is going on here? And then it was like this light bulb moment, like, I shed those beliefs of like that belief of not being good enough, that people pleaser, that I wasn't sharing my own truth. And now that I was, it was, of course, it had like those growing pains essentially. And now it's like that confidence is there to speak that truth, to, I don't know. So just know that the behaviors, kind of that process, that cycle, if it becomes present within your life, know that it's normal. You don't need to defend yourself for growing or aligning within your heart. Just like keep those good intentions, stay connected to your heart, right? Become aware though of how others' reactions also change your vibration. This is kind of what I'm working through currently. I'm going to be completely transparent. I'm a very empathetic person. I do a lot of self energy healing to keep my like auric field clear of energy that is not mine, to kind of button up, any holes that might be in my energetic field that would allow other people's energy to seep in, because I am an absorber. I'm a very empathetic person. I feel very hardly. I step into a room and I know exactly what's going on. So to be able to choose to like set your vibration each day. I love doing self energy healing. You could find a practice that works for you to be able to keep your energy, keep your vibration, keep your mood. However, again, insert whatever term you want to use. Commit to a practice that helps you stay like in that discernment, protecting your energy. You've probably heard that quote also. Like, I'm naming so many of these cliche quotes. I love it. But like, it's all that those core principles are so, so true. So resist the urge to conform to other people's expectations if they are uncommunicated, or if you don't agree with them. It is okay to stay true to yourself and your chosen vibration. Oh, that's like power. So you can choose a practice that sets your tone, your mood, your energy every day. And you can learn how to be intentional with that instead of just letting it be a byproduct of random thoughts, emotions. Again, things that I'm constantly working through. I'm still struggling with very scary, intrusive thoughts. And it's that discernment piece of, okay, I am not my thoughts. I am not, so I'm right there with you. You will always have thoughts. You will always have emotions that seem out of your control. You are not them. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. They might be trying to communicate something with you. And once you understand that discernment, that you have the power to set, to choose, like it's incredible. And if you have faith, not trying to spew, religious talk on you, but if you have the faith over fear, that was a huge pivotal a couple days ago. That was a huge pivotal piece of my meditation, having faith over fear, because I was struggling with a couple intrusive thoughts, and that faith over fear, okay. So you could really bring in your religious beliefs in that, conversation with yourself also. So with that being said, this is a complete promotion for, I'm not getting paid, this isn't paid advertising or anything like that, but I'm like just saying this is a complete promotion for the Spirit Daughter workbooks, because I'm obsessed with them. You could find her on Instagram at Spirit Daughter. And then you could grab all of her other links and things there. I'm sure she has a website and stuff. Yeah, because that's where I bought the workbooks. But anyway, Spirit Daughter, I'm sure even if you put it in Google, you will find her. But this is a complete promotion and sharing of her workbooks, almost like a little sneak peek of what you'll get. Because the more that I read into this Aquarius full moon workbook, the more that I felt drawn to using her questions and her prompts and sharing them, for you here. So I'm like not taking credit for this episode by any means. This is all Spirit Daughter. And it is so potent, so powerful to do any new moon or full moon rituals within like 72 hours of the new or full moon. So like give or take, the time before the full moon or the time after. Granted, this episode is airing on the full moon. So by Wednesday, this is of course a time sensitive episode, but if you're listening like way past the full moon, you could use this just knowing, okay, the next cycle will be the new moon, and then the next will be the full moon. So to really just kind of take that into your pocket of tools. So yeah, you could take the time, if you're listening to this like real time, you could take the time over the next couple days and journal on these prompts that encompass everything that I shared about this full moon, this current full moon in Aquarius. And I'll also plug it all into the show notes. So let's roll with this. Number 1 is, in what ways do you feel misaligned in your authentic truth? How are you not living the life your soul wants to live? Number 2, how does it feel to be misaligned in your behavior, thoughts, and or energy? What vibrational states take over when you're misaligned with your truth or committed to the wrong energies? Or, taken in energies from someone else or a different circumstance or situation, environment that you are in. Number 3, what are some behaviors, thoughts, and or reactions that you have to current conditions that belong in the past? AKA, what can you let go of? How can you become more present and react from a present version of yourself that you are today? Number 4, what vibrations represent the person you are and the person you are becoming? What do you need to shed to clear the way for these vibrations? Number 5, how are you affected by other people's expectations of you? Do you change your vibrational state, your energetic state, your mood based on other people's responses and or reactions about you? Number 6, what helps you set your vibration for the day? Mantras, a gratitude list, meditation, prayer, or something else? Number 7, what practices can you create that help you set and hold your vibration that you choose every day, no matter what else happens around you during that day? Number 8, imagine that you could live in a higher frequency, higher vibration, higher state of love, gratitude, abundance each day, aka living within your energy of alignment. What would this feel like? What would your life look like? How could you lift the vibration of everyone around you? Number 9, how can you lead every choice for yourself and the collective from a place of love? What would that look like in your world? And number 10, how can you love yourself today? That one I added from me just to put a little cherry on top. But how can you love yourself today? I will list all 10 of those within the show notes, so hopefully you could copy and paste or take a screenshot of them. And one last thing to note, that this is within your free will to choose to alchemize your vibrational state of lower energies, of lower emotions, lower feelings, or in other words, to work towards the ever-evolving, state of living in your energy of alignment, in living in those higher vibrations, those higher energies, emotions, feelings, stepping into your energy of alignment. Because ultimately, we live at different vibrations, throughout the entire day, right? All the time, we're up and down, the ebbs and flows, right? It's inevitable. It's life. It's humanity. It's consciousness. It's life. However, making a commitment to the expansive growth and expansion within who you are, the evolutional growth of you stepping into your power, into your energy of alignment, is how we are able to align back to our soul selves, aka transitioning from those lower energies to our natural, innate, higher energies faster and not living in those lower vibrational states longer than we need to, right? Again, emotions trying to tell us something, right? So let's get to the root of why am I angry right now? Bam, bam. Okay, we're going to make that intentional action of whatever that is. Maybe the anger is showing you where your boundaries are, or your jealousy shows you where you want to be, or your shame reveals parts of you that need acceptance and healing. You kind of understand, what emotions am I feeling and what is it trying to communicate with me? Maybe my fear is showing me where my greatest power is waiting to be unleashed, right? But that egoic mind is bringing in the fear instead of the what if the best case scenario happens. That is why I love to practice self-energy healing on me and practice meditation every day. Those are my 2 most important parts of my day. And why? Everything I just said, right? It allows me to connect to myself. It allows me to take that pause, not just on a full moon, but I'm taking that pause every single day to reflect, to connect, to reset, to ground myself into what am I going through? What was so hard about my day yesterday? Why was I so overstimulated? Why could I not regulate my nervous system? And then alchemizing that into allowing those communications to talk to me. And then, okay, if I need to course correct, if I need to have a conversation, what do I need to do to come back into that innate state, to step into my energy of alignment, to feel good, to feel into my body, to feel that mental clarity and peace and calm again. It's a life-changing practice for me. And within that, I already said, I step into my energy of alignment. I align my energy to my innate essence of being. It helps me in all areas of my life, which in turn, again, raises my vibration, because what I said before, the two go hand in hand. When we're living a life aligned within our energy, within our soul, that vibration raises. Vice versa, when we're not living a life aligned to our energy of alignment, to our soul, that vibration lowers. So if you are oh my gosh, where do I even begin in energy healing? I would love to have a session with you. I would love to have a one-on-one meditative energy session they're on Zoom or the phone, whichever one. They do not have to be in person. And we just have a heart to heart. It's like an intuitive soul heart to heart talk, right? They're beautiful and they're all intuitively led. So I can't tell you exactly the framework, of what we'll be going through, but there'll be meditation. There will be simultaneous energy healing. There'll be a beautiful conversation and possibly tears. I feel like I cry in all my sessions that I have with others. And because I feel so connected, and I just love helping you step back into your power and into your energy of alignment. So you can schedule a one-on-one energy healing session with me. And at checkout, you could use the coupon NEL Community, and it'll take a beautiful discount off of that checkout page. So grab the link in the show notes, naturallyempoweredliving.thrivecart.com/energy-healing-individual. Enter the coupon code NEL Community, and I cannot wait to hear from you. Happy full moon! Until next week, as always, simply be you. You have everything inside of you to learn your energy of alignment and be unapologetic in who you are. I'm sending my love and light.
Did you find this episode relatable or empowering? Peace, we love a video.
Thank you for spending this sacred time with me on Naturally Empowered Living. I pray this episode has brought you a step closer to tuning into your energy of alignment. And if it has, please consider leaving a written review sharing how this show has impacted you. Your feedback truly lights me up and helps other moms find their way to this community. And if it feels right, please share this episode with another mom who might be struggling to remind her that she's never alone. Be sure to check the show notes for more ways to connect and explore how we could work together to reclaim your power and deepen your relationship within. Thank you. I appreciate all you are and all you do.